Miss South Africa 2023's theme that our client, Miss South Africa, had briefed us was Nostalgic Africa. So when we started to really think about putting this together, I looked at the crown, Moana, that was made by Nungu Diamonds, and they built this crown around the Baobab. And I thought there has to be a way that we are taking not just the crown, but taking the Baobab and making it such a visual element in our show. It speaks to women being anchors of society, being rooted, being grounded, being expected to live long forever and do everything. And I thought it was so perfect. So if you pay attention, the Baobab is in the crown. And then you look at the set and those beautiful overhead shots. You have the Baobab in gold on the stage, which was so beautiful. We had many visuals that incorporated the Baobab from the opening of the show, and even the words that were written and scripted that speak to the Baobab and how the Baobab is all of us. It is you and I. It has layers and levels and years of stories and so much to give and provide. So those two just came back so beautifully, where you're like, okay, I'm going to use the Baobab as the super visual element and to connect it to Nostalgic Africa, because the Baobab is uniquely a South African symbol, tree, and there are few places you can find it in this country. And if you really pay attention to some of the creative choices in the show, none of them are by coincidence. They are very, very intentional. So when you look from the first scene and the ladies in their silhouettes and what's happening visually behind the ladies in that opening number, what's happening in the second scene and the third scene, it was all very intentional. Miss South Africa, the live finale, has 12 cameras. And there's a genius of a woman by the name of Nadia White, who is our technical director, whose job is to, at any given moment, let the viewers at home and those in the audience see, because we call it a TX feed, or the broadcast feed. So even if you're in the venue, they will cut to what's being seen in different moments on the screens. It is her job to pick the best shots for you to be seeing at any given time. So some of it might be like the money shot. An example of the money shot is in the crowning moment. So this is how, with 12 cameras, one of it being an overhead shot, we've got 3 cameras at the back, we've got cameras on our judges that were on the sides of the stage. There's the jib, which is the big one on the long 8, 9, 10 meter arm. There's the steady cam, the one that runs on stage to get the movement. And her job really is to catch the moments that everybody in the audience wants to see. So if you're wondering, how does it happen that when a name is announced, we automatically have a camera get her? Because we rehearse. And if you watch last year's series of Behind the Crown, then you will know that part of the process of the names being received, as in by the auditors, is that the technical director needs to know just before the names are announced what the name is, so that the cameras are ready. Because if we've only got 3 cameras that can get the right shot and 5 ladies, the last thing you want is a cameraman doing this until they get to the right face. So they are always looking for moments that are reaction shots. So a name being announced and that relief moment. You're looking for moments that when a person has to answer a question, you're looking for, obviously, if Bonang is speaking to the judge, you want when Bonang is speaking on her mic, we cut to the judge responding. The other moments we want is during a performance of Robot Boy. We don't just want to see Robot Boy performing. Sometimes we want to catch a glimpse of how the judges are responding or how the crowd is responding. So at any given moment, the technical director's job is she will brief the cameraman what she wants to see. They have to provide those shots, and she will call for the shot when she needs it. So cameramen, if you're wondering why they sit with headphones the whole time, because their director, their master for the day, is talking to them and she is guiding them. She's also guiding the voice of God, and then the only other person who talks to her while she's working is me, because I have to give direction. So there was a costume change that kind of didn't happen at the correct time in the show, and we need to decide what needs to happen. Or there was a hiccup, a production hiccup that took place, and then we very quickly have to say, okay, cool, get Bonang to jump into the crowd and ask a question, or get her to jump in front of the judges. So at any given moment, we need to have a plan B and a plan C for if things don't go according to plan. Let's say all girls are not ready to walk the next round. We can't go to the next round at all. All the ladies need to be standing by. And then the technical director will know, okay, all my ladies are ready, we can start. Is the song ready? Or the graphic, is everything ready? We can start. If not, there must be a plan, and those cameramen, God bless their hearts, and especially, the Steadicam operators that need to run and support the technical directors. Here's my only concern about lining them back up, is that we don't have enough time for them to get back, which means extending the music, and already we're extending the show, and I need to make that moment. So can I suggest, because when we come back, we're going to have them lined up anyways, are you willing to sacrifice this end? Because if I have to add another minute.
Can I tell you what we can perhaps just do? Is instead of the last goal, because the first 4 are fine to get back.
Why do they need to line up, if I may ask? Because remember...
Because you want to see the whole thing, to look there.
So what I'm saying is, in the next moment, when the top 5 are standing, we're going to have the picture. They must keep their capes on, but take them off when they start answering questions. So get your lineup when we preset, and we can even open the capes up nicely. You have the time so that you have them next to each other. But what I'm saying is, if we're going to add a minute here, I'm losing minutes later that I need to build.
I don't want to add anything. I don't want to add anything. I think it's.
Do you think she's going to have? Do you think she's going to have time to?
I think this is what I was trying to say. I think if we started a little bit earlier, if we just let them, because there was a long period, because I wanted them to start walking when the music started.
Okay, let's do that.
But, and then the other option that we also have is that this final goal, right?
Just turns around and goes back. Perfect.
And then she just walks to her spot.
Okay, we're going to do it like that.
Up and then walk.
Cool.
Okay, let me explain to them.
So, all I was saying is, as long as we don't extend the song.
I don't think we need to extend.
There's so many people behind the scenes that you would never even know are making magic happen. So I've spoken about our technical director, Nadia White. I'll speak about Dino Naidu, who basically created all of the audio visuals for the screens. And it's not one screen, it's 5 screens that somebody's creating graphics for performances, for winner announcement moments. There are so many that are unsung and unseen. And then you have, Azania Mwendani, who becomes like my right hand in the project, with writing, with doing so many things prior to me having to clean up and refine the show. So there's a lot that goes into it. Many unsung heroes. Big shout out. The set designer had very little time. So the set team, the set build, Josh, that is Devet, and then Josh, who is Joshua Cut, is our lighting designer. Lights make such a difference to a show. Watch any live entertainment show and you will see the difference that lights make. So if I were to say the stage is 60% of the job done, the lighting is 10% of the job done, then I would add the host at another 10% of the job done. The rest of the content, the lady speaking, the wardrobe is the other percentage, but it's staging and lighting, they make or break a show. The other thing that just adds that extra bonus 5% once you've made up your 100% are the pyrotechnics. So pyrotechnics, or what we refer to them as pyros, can be those show enhancers. So these could be like fireworks, sparklers. We call them sparklers. You get the ones that look like smoke. That's your CO2 that we did in Robot Boy's performance. We have flames, we have fires.
Sparklers, we're going to put along again along there. We're using it for the winner, so we can go in front if you want.
Is this for what?
The sparklers, the ground sparks that come out.
Do I need more base in that?
No, you can never hurt it. Then we've got 8 sparklers.
And we're using them.
So we're not really using them in the girl reveal. I mean, I don't think we need it. And we can.
I just think to do sparklers, CO2 and fire in the opening is like, oh my god.
Yeah, it is a good one.
So we've got CO2. Where else did we use tricks last year?
Right.
It's always nice to have it nowhere really. We only did the
so
opening
then,
and
because
the
we've got the curtain, why don't we do sparklers here for the winners moment?
we definitely got it for the winners moment.
So
But
I've
if we
got
want to use
more.
it, we can use it twice.
These things are so much fun to play with, and they are not cheap at all, but they're amazing. For me, there is no Miss South Africa opening number that does not have pyros in it. I think last year we did a sparklers, and this year, because it was the Baobab and the African sunset and the ladies in their animal print dresses, and then we switched into Shaga, I thought, no, we have to have fire in the opening. And then you ask, how do you pick the places for where the pyros go? You pick the places in the show. So I said to myself, the opening, definitely the crowding moment, you need hurrah. And then I thought Robot Boy's performance is also a really, really good place to play with stuff. And you think to yourself, CO2, which looks like smoke, sort of, and it makes that sound when it happens. That is a little bit cold and feeds to the neon look of his number, which is sort of the show-stopping, what do I call it? I call it the Super Bowl halftime. That's the Super Bowl halftime performance. So the opening was very like fire. You think of the elements, fire vibes. Then Robot Boy's performance, CO2. You can't just push it and press indefinitely. Doesn't work that way. And yes, we test it. The ones we don't test are things like confetti, where there's gold everywhere. Why? Because it is a cleaning nightmare. That some venues even charge you for the cleanup because it's a nightmare to get it off anything. So the opening, we had fire. We did test it with the ladies so that they could not get a fright when it goes off in the song. See fire before the fire time. Is that allowed?
Before the what time?
When can I see the fire? Oh, lovely. Okay.
I'll find out.
Yes. Okay.
Definitely can do fire in dress rehearsal tomorrow.
The way that I had wanted it to go is very musically. Baye, ps, ngozi, ps, baye, te, ngozi. And I had to keep saying to Josh, please do it on the black beat and not on the white beat. Which is, the black beat is 2. Not. And he did get it right. So I always choreograph pyros musically. For Robot Boy's performance, I just said to him, go wild, finish that CO2. You're paying for it anyways, finish it. And if you watch the performance, you see it go pss, 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 throughout the show, throughout the performance. Then the closing one is the crowning moment. Now, you only have one chance to get that money shot. Only one chance. So after the crowning moment happens, and the crown, you know, it's first the name announcement, so it's almost like 3 moments. It's Miss South Africa is holding hands, right? The name, that's moment number 1. The name announcement, so that reaction, moment number 1. Then we know the 2 ladies are gonna hug, and the runner-up steps off. So she's there, and then we know she gets flowers. She gets, oh sorry, is it sash first? Flowers first, sash second. So that's kind of your moment number 2, right? Then moment number 3 is as Ndavi gets ready, stands behind her and puts the crown. And now it's official. That crown now has, I don't want to say an owner, it has a wearer, it has a queen. That's now your 3rd moment. Then Ndavi clears the shot after their hug and their moment, and that's another moment. So we're like, we have 3 big moments in the end. What are we doing? Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Curtain. curtain, sparkle, sparkle behind her. It needs to look epic. It needs to look wow. It needs to look like, and that goes with a whole lighting show, a graphics change. It goes with just what's happening with the camera shots, knowing when to be on the close-ups, knowing when to pull out into the bigger shots.
The only thing that I want for that crowning is I want Davi to go behind.
Yes, it's the same as this. Yes, the same thing.
The whole dress was designed because she has sleeves.
No, don't stress. No. So it's exactly the same.
So the girl was
all she's going to do is take it from the side, because remember the money shot isn't Davi being behind.
Yes.
So the money shot is
But
the
what we're
girl
saying
goes
is
down.
there's no crown.
Yes.
There's no old crown. She's had a moment with a crown.
I mean, I'm happy.
Because when she put
I don't have a
final say, but let's just tell them, yeah. Because when Davi puts this, because
has the sleeves.
so when she puts the sash on, she's already got no crown on.
So pyros don't just press as in when you feel like it. Like, it is choreographed, it is rehearsed. Some of them the ladies only see for the first time on the night because we can't really afford a full rehearsal of them. But yeah, they just enhance the show so beautifully, and it works out every time. It looks good on camera. It looks amazing to the crowd. Actually, somebody that was in the VIP area at the front said to me, "Girl, the way you guys were putting those flames, I was so worried my wig was gonna burn." It was hot.